The stories that we've heard over the last few months working on the project, places like this save lives. That post-industrial working class culture that's been really, really difficult. A place like this provides a sense of community and a sense of family, and its role within the community is crucial. We're here today in Ladyship Mills, which is a historic textile mill complex in Halifax that was built in the 1800s. It's a rich part of Halifax industrial heritage. It's been repurposed over the course of around 10 years and has become the home of Halifax Boxing Sport and Fitness Club. So we've been very fortunate enough to meet with Mick Rowe, who is the owner of the boxing club here at Ladyship Mills.
The part we moved into, we sort of expanded into this area about 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, that's the sort of the beginning of it, where we started getting the paintings on the wall, the lighting done, the double glazing in.
Much of our work is around reaching out to communities that tend to be overlooked by official histories, official cultures, and I think very often local working class communities can feel excluded. And what we wanted to do and to use the grant for was to celebrate a very rich and historic culture, and to talk about that right at the heart of the history of the town, really. So we're working with Mick, interviewed Mick and the team down here. We've interviewed some of the young boxers here. We've researched and found a history particularly of Star Boxing Club, which was a very prominent local boxing club, not just in Halifax but in the north of England. It produced some great fighters, produced Richard Dunn, who went on to fight Muhammad Ali and was British heavyweight champ. We've interviewed a lot of the guys who were part of Halifax Star 34 years ago, the routes that they've taken, the confidence it gave them, the role really that boxing played in their lives, and just how important it was to them. There's an arc that goes back from the early days of a place like Star, and the role that people like Gordon Jones, who was a trainer there, was that pastoral care to recognise some of the issues that particularly local young men were dealing with. They worked with a guy like Gordon Jones, and he gave them confidence and direction. And the work that's going on now, on a bigger scale in a place like this, is they're essentially doing the same job.
Big right. Oh, well done. Stretch, go on, stand up, stretch, breathe. Fill them lungs up. Excellent, well done, well done. That's a good boy.
By the very nature of the sport it's rough, it's raw. The spaces are rough and raw. The old mills are rough and raw. This is part of the life of the community as they came to work in these old buildings. So it's fascinating to watch the way that buildings like this have been repurposed. And it's great that Historic England are exploring not just the preservation of building, but the preservation of culture, of working class culture, and celebrating that reuse.